Okay, well, I haven't talked about this before, but I figured now I'll give you a little bit of a tip and trick of the trade, I guess I should say, um, for when you're decorating with these lighted groundbreakers for Halloween. Now, these used to be very popular. You used to be able to get them at Kmart, at Walmart, at all these places. Um, but they've sort of fallen a little bit out of style. But I still like to use them for one reason or the other. But you'll notice that one of the probably the biggest downside about them is that the wires for each of the parts are they're really visible, right? And you don't really want that because it sort of takes away. Obviously, no one's going to think it's really a skeleton sticking out of your yard, but it takes away from the look of it. And that's part of the reason why I was going to say it takes away from the realism of it. But there's really no realism to be had. It just takes away from the look of it. Now, this sort of thing really becomes less noticeable. Well, first of all, at nighttime, but also the further back you go, it just becomes obscured by everything else, and you're not really going to see it. But me, I tend to notice the smaller details, and it bothers me. So, here's what I do. If you have a lot of these in your display, and you don't want the wires to show, now, of course, before you start your display, you always have to mow the lawn, right? Because you don't want the grass to be grown too high over everything. So my suggestion is don't mow with the grass catcher still attached to the back of the lawnmower. And you might think to yourself, well, what the hell has that got to do with anything? Here's why. I have here a clump of dead grass that has accumulated out of where the grass catcher would be. It sort of leaves it in lines all across the yard. And you could just as easily take it out of the grass catcher afterward, but it's easier to just have it on the lawn already, which is why I say leave the grass catcher off. Reason why you need your dead grass is because, watch this, when you sprinkle it and sort of press it down onto the wire there, it disappears. It makes the wire virtually invisible. And another reason why you want to leave the grass catcher off is because it'll leave the dead grass already scattered all about the yard. So it won't look out of place when you have this dead grass here covering up the wires. So you just do that. Now, of course, you press it down. You don't make it look too unnatural. But even if it does look unnatural, it's not that big of a deal because it's supposed to give the effect of this thing rising from the ground anyway, right? And then, well, the wire is sort of suspended above the air over here. So there's just to cover up the bottom part of it. And now, you just take a little bit more and just scatter it all around so it doesn't look too out of place. Get rid of the rest, and now, look at that. You would never know that the wires were even there. Alright? What do you think about that? Definitely a pretty interesting technique. I'm sure other decorators and other haunters already use it because it's really nothing all too clever. It's not like this is groundbreaking information I'm giving you. But if you're new to decorating, like over there, I gotta do it over there too with all these wires laying all over the place. But if you're new to decorating and you just want to enhance the look of your display just a little bit, well, that's how to do it. You just take some of the dead grass and just lay it around there. Or I guess I could even say grass clippings if they're fresh. And just that little bit really enhances the look of not just the figure itself, but just the whole display overall. Alright, well, that's about all she wrote. Thanks for watching, folks. Take care.